Hello everyone, welcome back to Connect to Care. I'm Tiffany Lloyd with The Gracious Mind and I'm the Education Coordinator. We are really excited to jump back in this month with movement. We have really awesome videos and content coming out from all different projects that we have going on, whether it's our Deaf Heart Hangout or our Small Bites. Make sure that you check those out because we have some really cool videos this month. So when we talk about movement and ASL, obviously ASL is a very physical language. The modality of ASL is different than any other type of language because it is physical. You use your body to produce the language. It does fire the same things in your brain as spoken language. Those language receptors in your brain are going off, but because it's physical, it is a whole nother layer of how your brain is working and producing the language. Often we don't think about ASL in terms of physicality in the way that we look at like other things like sports and things like that, but I encourage you to look at ASL in that way. I know for me, when I first started learning ASL and I would get a sign for the first time, I would produce that sign and I would feel uncomfortable or awkward, and it didn't really work, or I didn't really produce it correctly, and that's because my brain was not making those connections from the language receptors to the physicality of the language. Sometimes when we are producing the language, we perceive the language in a way and our brain interprets it in a different way, and then we produce it, and sometimes it can be produced incorrectly. In those moments, be open to feedback. I know we've talked about this before, but as interpreters, we're language neutral. And sometimes for the signs, even after you've been doing this for many, many years, the signs that you haven't used in a long time, and then you go to use them, come out really uncomfortable or awkward, or you even maybe produce them incorrectly. Just this recently, I was interpreting for something and someone used the sign for bear, and I don't know why that sign always throws me off, but I immediately want to sign monster, and so I signed monster, realizing I produced the sign incorrectly, and so then I had to catch back up, change it to bear, and move on. And that's pretty normal when you're producing language and you have such a vast vocabulary and things that are being thrown at you, and you don't really use that sign maybe all the time. So don't get discouraged, don't feel bad about yourself, just recognize that that might be something that you need to put into your intentional practice. So one of the things that I like to do when I produce a sign incorrectly is to notate it or journal about it. If I'm working with a team and I can't notate it, sometimes I'll communicate with them that I want them to put it down on paper so that I can remember it later. I like to bring that into my intentional practice, and I will come up with sentences and incorporate that sign into those sentences and sign it so that I can practice. I don't think we think about ASL in terms of the physicality of the language too often, and I think it's important to really think about that. When you think about football players or baseball players or dancers, they all practice specific moves over and over and over again until that move is almost perfect. And it's the exact same kind of process that we go through as interpreters. We just use the language in a more natural way within the community in conversations and things like that. But sometimes with signs that we don't use all the time, it is important to just jump in and practice it several times so that you can kind of get that physical movement incorporated into your body. So drop a comment below and let us know how you intentionally practice and what you do when you misproduce a sign, and click like and subscribe, and check us out next week for more videos on movement.